there was no women on the Green Mile. And so therefore, kind of like all of our guards was down. There was nobody to preen for. You know, there's nobody to sort of impress. We had some scenes with some chicks, but by and large, it was a bunch of guys going to the same place every single day. So the nature of the bond disappeared because usually, you know, there's one group is playing guards and the other group is playing prisoners. But we all just fell in love with each other very, very quickly on in the process. And there is always a catalyst for that. There's always kind of like a leader of the pack. Somebody's in charge of wisecracks, and somebody's in charge of you know, obscene jokes, and somebody else is in charge of, you know, sports trivia or hiring the burger truck. Mike was in charge of love. He was the guy who just brought a zest and a joy. You always knew when he walked on the set. You always knew when you were involved in a scene with him. And I have never experienced a movie where everybody came out for each other's scenes. You know, if it was a scene with Mike and me, or Mike and Doug Hutchison, or Mike doing it, the other guys would come out of the trailers just to be back behind the camera watching on the monitor to see what Big Mike was going to do.
Now, this wasn't his first movie, but it was the movie that made him. It really was. When did you know, like, this is a special guy?
Oh, right off the bat. You know, we you know, very talented people come in or can be a part of something like that. But there was just something about that visage of his. You know, Mike always walked with his you know, his head back. He was always looking up and out. But as John Coffey, he did this thing where he lowered his, he got this little kind of like pouty face, and he'd lower it, and it was he would change his demeanor, and he just became this bag of anxiety and fear, and you don't look at Big Mike, and you're not going to sense, oh, he's afraid of anything. But he was able to embody the Stephen King wrote this character, John Coffey, that was almost an anachronism in its almost alien embrace of what love and care is, and he was able to make that manifest.
And this is my last question. Today is the celebration of his life and legacy.
Yeah.
What would you say his legacy is?
Oh. It's that laugh, man. If you can laugh at everything, like Big Mike. Remember when he was at the Academy Awards? He just walked around shaking that little. He was shaking this little bracelet. Mr. Jingles, Mr. Jingles. He must have done that for 4.5 hours straight. And that, I think that's the way he embraced all of life. He was a guy who was celebrating the moment. I don't think he ever waited to. I don't think he postponed his joy. I don't think he postponed his happiness.